All right, guys, this is a first for me on one of these, I believe, for sure, definitely a GT2, I think in general. So, we know what these cars can do on the track. Yes, these cars are designed and developed to be on the track, and they are designed and developed to be killers on the track. But guess what? Sometimes people that don't want to go to the track really like the car. And that's kind of where this client was. He saw this car, he absolutely loved it, but he's not a track guy. So where he lives at, the roads are far more bumpy than what we have where I'm at, and then obviously on a nice smooth track. And so the suspension to him was too stiff and was beating him up, and he wanted to just enjoy driving the car around because he just loves the car. So what we're doing is we contacted our good friends at Emotion and got with Joey and worked out a revised spring rate. I had nothing to do with this. I am a grease monkey. I simply swap parts. But he knows the spring rates or recommended spring rates to help get the cars softer or what the location is, what they are. So we got with Joey, and he sent us a set of his super secret spring rates. I like saying that because I always get DMs or people commenting, talking about something about how they get all flustered when you say super secret. I do know what they are. It doesn't really matter because we painted the springs. These are sprint springs. The different spring rates have different colors. So I think one was like pink and one was like brown or whatever the combination was. Well, the client is very picky. He wanted it to still look like they were the factory springs. So we got with our paint guy, Keith, and we had them sprayed or painted and painted and clear coated. So they should hold up. And so what we got here's our rear springs, our rear assembly. So we're switching over to the heavier springs. They're lighter than OE, but they're slightly heavier than what this spring package was taken from to support the weight of the rear on the GT2RS. And then we've got our lower spring rate, softer springs for the front also to help dampen the ride. I haven't seen why, but apparently we're using those rear springs because well, obviously you can see why. This is a giant spring in comparison to this one as far as the width of the spring. So we get these sick Emotion top hats to go with the assembly also. So as usual, Joy's put together a killer kit here, all inclusive. We got everything installed. The rear springs, because they're the, I may get this wrong. I know they're the standard GT style versus the RS. I think they're based off the .1. I don't remember that for sure or not. But it is a much shorter spring. So there was about a 30 millimeter difference, 26 millimeter difference just installing the spring. The vehicle was basically at the correct ride height before. I had to move it up quite a bit on the pedestals to get everything to come in. But we're gonna have a spring rate that's gonna make the customer much more happy. The car's not gonna be beating them up. I do love these additional mounts that they gave us so that we can make this spring work with the factory piece here. So the factory top hat. So as stated, everything as usual looks awesome, works awesome. We'll get some feedback from the customer and see, but I am sure Joey knows his stuff over there, so I'm sure that we are not going to have any issues. Left lane is for high-speed traffic and passing only.